Welcome back to the Tuesday Tea, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Best day of the week. My name's Maddie.
I'm Carly.
And we're so happy to have you guys today. We're going to be talking about embarrassing date stories. So that'll be fun. I think that anytime that a story is embarrassing, they're just so fun to read. Just you feel bad that it happened, but it's fun to laugh about it after.
Surely, yeah.
So before we get into that, we're going to do some life updates, and then we're going to tell our own embarrassing date stories. So, Carly, what's new with you, huh? I have an update for Carly.
What is it?
I'm setting Carly up on a blind date tonight, and I'm so excited. I have never in my life set someone up on a blind date. Like, this is a real blind date, you guys. Like, they don't know who the other person is. They don't know what the other person looks like. They know nothing about the other person.
She won't tell me.
Yeah, Carly's been trying to dig, and I've given her zero information because, as we've discussed before on this podcast, Carly is an FBI agent. So if I gave her the littlest, grain, she would literally learn who he is, his blood type, where he was born, where his family lives. Like, she would know everything. So I'm just sending her in blind. It's a real old-fashioned blind date.
Something about knowing who it is and just having a little bit of lead up would be helpful. I feel like the fact that it's purely blind makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking, but also kind of more exciting too.
I know, I get that.
Because I don't want to be pen pals also up until a date. I'm not really interested in that, so that's fun. But I don't know if I know this guy. I don't know if I've met him before. I don't know if he's a stranger. I know all the people in your life, so I'm confused, but it's gonna be fun.
I know. Well, this guy's not a good friend or anything, but we
got a detail.
You knew that.
No, well, obviously.
Yeah, but I just thought of it one day. I'm like, oh my gosh, him and Carly would actually be so cute. I should set them up on a blind date. And as a friend of someone who's single, you're always looking to set someone up. And, you got to get back in the dating field. For context, Carly has not been on a date in 2 years? Sorry to throw you under the bus.
No, I don't date. November 2022.
Yeah, so almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy that way.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
You want to get married and you want to date.
That's what I think. I always think I'm like, okay, this is my dream. So why am I not doing things to set me up? But I'm not going to date. I'm not going to go online and date.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the apps and stuff, but yeah.
I know. But okay, you guys can let us know what you think about this. I think that we should make it a goal for Carly to go on at least 2 dates a month. And this podcast can hold you accountable because we'll talk about it together. So everyone can get debriefs on your dates.
Oh, heavens.
But yes, you probably have to be on the apps to make that happen because it's how else are you going to be going consistently on that many dates, So you'd probably have to get on Hinge or something like that. But I know you're against it. Mm-hmm. But okay, why are you against it? Walk us through that.
I don't want to lose hope, maybe.
So the way to not lose hope is to just not go on any dates.
I think I could do a better job at setting myself up for the ability to meet more people. I feel we do that all the time, with going to events and stuff and intramurals and those kinds of things. But I don't know. I just don't want to do it. And I don't know if it's a fear thing or I don't also like the idea of it being so photo based. That is, but I get it. How else are you going to do it?
Yeah.
I also don't want to just sit and chat with people. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to do kind of in the wild type things. And I don't mind getting creative with in the wild type stuff. I think that stuff is exciting, but I also think about that stuff for setting other people up, not for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know. And I get it. The apps stink and it's no fun. I hate the way that it's so photo based too. And a lot of times there's not that many good, seemingly good eligible people on there. So it can be a little bit disheartening. But I think the positive of using that to go, for the sole purpose of going on 2 dates a month is that it would take away the gravity of going on a date because when the dates are so few and far between, there's a lot of weight and a lot of pressure on them. And I think if you maybe just for a little bit, just practice putting yourself out there with no pressure on it. Because it's okay, you don't like the apps anyways, you're probably not going to meet your husband. Then it doesn't even matter. You're just practicing the art of going on dates. And
yeah, that's a good point.
There's just no pressure on it that way.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe you will find someone, but it's not you're thinking, I have to find my husband on Hinge,
Yeah. Yeah. And no shame to people that are on it.
Yeah.
Like at all. Yeah.
No, there's definitely a lot of like success stories that come
For
from
sure.
Hinge.
There's a lot.
I mean, I saw a pickleball boy on Hinge. Like, well, this should make you feel better because
Say it.
I saw him on Instagram and I thought, oh, he's cute. So I followed him and that's how we started chatting. But I was still like, we weren't exclusively dating at all, like for the first couple months. So I was still on Hinge. And I remember like probably 2 weeks after I saw him on Instagram, I saw him on Hinge and I would have swiped no if I didn't know him because I was so like picky about height. I know that that sounds bad, but I'm just being honest. Like I wanted someone over 6 foot. I've never dated anyone under 6 foot before. And so that was always like the one physical aspect that I was like, I need someone tall. And he's 5'10". And so I would have swiped no. But because I'd already been chatting with him, I don't think I swiped yes anyways because I don't think I wanted him to know that I was on Hinge. But it just goes to show that like even people that you might see on Hinge and think, I don't know, you might really connect with when you meet them. You just don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like disheartening to see people that maybe you're not physically attracted to on the app, but it's like if you give them a chance, you never know.
But that's why I think I don't like it is because it's all based on pictures and like what you put as your responses.
Yeah.
Where if I just meet with somebody and I vibe with their personality, to me, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But how's that going for you? It's not going well. There haven't been any dates in the last 2 years.
I know, but I know. I don't feel like I need it. You know, it's not like I feel like I'm missing out.
You're not.
But I do want to get back out there.
Yeah.
So maybe what we could do is think of creative ways to get dates that aren't the apps.
Yeah.
Like maybe we could think of like, I don't know, asking more people if they know people. Like I don't really do that. And I remember reading a stat a while ago and it said in like the 80s or I don't even know, 1900s until the 2000s. Okay. Something like that. Like 90% of marriages were set up for mutual friends or like someone in your family knew of somebody. Yeah. And now it's like, that's like 10% down to 10%.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we could be more bold with saying like, hey, do you know anybody? Which is so, because I'm like, what if that comes across desperate? Like,
yeah,
you know, like you're incomplete without it because I'm fully fine, you know, but it's of course a desire.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I feel like most people would already tell you, though, if they had someone that they thought would be good for you. At least the people closest to you.
People closest to you, for sure.
Yeah.
But, like, if I was talking to somebody single, I wouldn't want to be like, oh, I have this person in mind. Because what if they're like, do I come across like I don't know. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe there's some brothers out there. Maybe listeners have some brothers.
Yeah, there you go. Honestly, I have this friend who met a girl at an event who followed her on Instagram. And she was like, don't take this the wrong way, but like my brother and you would be so cute.
Stop it.
And she set them up on a date and they're literally going to get married.
Stop it now. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
See, there's like wing woman out there and you don't have to be like.
Well, that's why I wanted to create that app. Do you remember that app that I thought? Wingman?
No.
I wanted to make an app, and I was seriously looking into it for a while, where it's that exact premise. Like people who are in relationships sign up and have like a profile of their single friend. Like they make the profile. And then so it's the single people aren't on the apps. It's all their friends that are trying to set them up. So then you talk with other single people's friends and like see if they'd be a good match.
We need to.
Well, it's already made and it literally has the same name. I was going to call it Wingman and it's literally already an app. So you can sign up for it. I don't think it's doing very well because I've never heard of it before. But it's already
you're not
made.
The CEO, that's why.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. If there's any brothers out there.
Yeah.
Tall, Christian, goofy.
Yeah. Anyways, all that being said, you're going on the date tonight.
Yes.
It's a blind date. So do you know what you're going to wear?
No. Not at all. What are you supposed to wear on a first date?
I don't know. I feel like something simple, maybe like a tight top and jeans.
Okay. Because I love dressing up, but I don't want to ever be overdressed. That would make me feel so insecure if I show up super overdressed.
I'm so excited. I told him, I was like, you have to tell me what color shirt you're wearing so I can tell her because they're going to get there and they literally don't even know who the other person is.
I can't.
It's going to be so fun.
I can't.
So stay tuned for an update next week.
Do you hug?
Yeah.
Do you shake hands?
Just feel out the vibe, whatever feels right.
Introduce
Let him
myself.
lead. Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Carly. Any topics that are off limits?
On a first date?
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends how aggressive you want to go.
What's standard? I don't know. Like,
I feel like you just kind of feel it out. Like, you guys literally know nothing about each other, so you're going to start with, like, very, very basic questions, like, where are you from?
that's so boring.
No, but it won't be because you don't know them, so it'll all be new information.
Okay.
You want to know that stuff about someone that you're dating.
But then, like, don't they think, like, oh, she's only asking that because we're on a date versus, like, I don't know. No?
No.
Because I guess if I was sitting across from somebody at, like, a brewery and we were all, like, friends hanging out and there was a new person there, I would ask the same questions.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's a different level or, like a different foundation. I don't know. Like, a different layer because you're on a date asking that question. It feels like maybe more forced. But really, it is just interest and intrigue. And, like, I love asking people questions. But I don't know. It's going to be great.
You're overthinking it. It's just, if anything, worst case scenario, you're just making a new friend.
Yeah.
And I remember someone said one time about dating, like, so many people are focused on, oh my gosh, do they like me? Am I saying the right thing? And you need to be focused on, okay, do I even like them? Yeah. Like, am I even interested in them?
That's your motto for dating.
Yeah, because like, who cares if they don't like you if you don't even like them?
So
it doesn't
true.
matter.
No, so
so
true.
Just don't even worry about it.
At the end of the day, he's just a boy.
Yeah.
That's helpful. He's just a boy.
Yeah, he's just a boy.
And it's either practice, potential, or plot. So it'll either be a good story, it'll be potential, or it'll be for practice.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And
I feel good.
What was your other line? Good
He's
luck
just
to
a boy.
him?
Oh, wish him luck.
Wish him luck.
Wish him luck. I think I want to, like, get ready. I want you to come over. I want Brittany to come over, and we put on music and we just dance and get ready and have some wine.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
The only other thing I was just talking to you about before we started was I don't really like to eat on dates just because, like, I have inherited the kind of teeth that things get stuck in.
Yeah.
That's from my father. And so, like, I'll never forget one of my first dates with my ex. I ordered 2 scrambled eggs at breakfast. And
how do you get scrambled eggs stuck in your teeth? You did not. Oh,
I didn't. But that's why I ordered it. I literally just ordered a side of 2 scrambled eggs, and he ordered this huge platter for breakfast. And then I panicked because I didn't know what to do with my hands. So I put pepper on it. And then I was like, well, now I can't eat the scrambled eggs because I put pepper and the pepper is going to get stuck in my teeth. So I don't really know what to do for food.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they have some bone broth?
Bone broth?
Like soup I can drink?
I've known you for a long time, and I've never noticed, like, things stuck in your teeth. Maybe once.
It just happens, and it's going to happen. And then I'm going to be, like, thinking about it. So
just when you eat, try not to, like, smile too much. And then once you're done, go to the bathroom and check.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. I'm going to look at the menu before. That'll be helpful. Like, figure out what's best. But do I have to eat? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you have to eat. You're going to dinner. Just eat something, a little something before so you're not, like, starving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then you could just get something small and, like, if you're worried about eating.
Yeah. Well, I just, like, I don't have an appetite when, you know.
Yeah.
You're on a date.
Yeah.
Anyways.
How
are you doing?
I'm good.
How was your trip to California?
It was so much fun being able to see our niece and nephew. They were so cute. I did have a lot of stomach issues, which, you know, a little TMI, but I'm pretty open about it. I've had, like, stomach issues for the last, like, really my whole life, but they've gotten more serious, and I had, like, a really serious episode last week, so we're going to have to go to some doctor's appointments this week and try and get some stuff figured out because it's no bueno.
No.
And it just stinks, like, not feeling good when you're not at home, you know?
Oh my gosh, that's true. Does anything help with the pain?
No, not really.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was really fun. So I'm very happy to be home. I'm home for, like, the next, like, couple weeks. I feel like I've been traveling so much over the last few months, which is
so true.
It's nice, but it's like there's pros and cons to everything, you know? It just makes you appreciate being in a routine and everything. So
what's next? What's the next trip?
Well, we're going to Chattanooga.
Yes, we are.
In October, we're going to stay in one of those treehouse, like, cabin things in the woods.
I'm so excited. And the leaves are going to be amazing.
Yeah, we'll probably film a podcast while we're there.
I'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be fun. A little cozy cabin episode.
I would love.
It's finally starting to feel like fall in
I
Nashville.
know.
It's so rainy and cozy. It's also because the hurricane has been coming through a little bit up here, but it's just been raining for us. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Which we're very thankful for. But it's finally fall. It's almost October too. Or when this comes out, it's going to be October.
It is.
Wow.
You want to know what got me a little emo yesterday?
What?
I don't know why this happens. I'd be curious if you feel it too. I did some TikToking yesterday, and the first video that comes up is Frank Sinatra singing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Was beautiful.
Okay, hire me. It was a carousel of just photos, but it was just like the Christmas vibe. So at each carousel there were 6 different photos, and it was just Frank Sinatra in the back singing, and I just got emotional.
Yeah.
And it was just like the pictures were like the vibe of Christmas. Like something about Christmas is just so romantic and sad and beautiful. Like happy, of course, but it gets you in your feels. And I just got emo. I was like, what's wrong with me?
There's so much power in a good song behind something. Like if it's an emotional song, it can really just
hit you right in the heart like a dagger. Yeah, you're right. Music does something to me.
I'm so excited for the holiday season.
Too.
Let us know your guys' thoughts. We were thinking about doing like a spooky stories episode for Halloween. Like
that would be so fun.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
I'm scared already just thinking about it.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it so much.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. That'll be in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Do you have any embarrassing date stories from the past besides the pepper on the eggs?
Not really. The last date I went on was interesting. He just stared at the TV behind me the whole time.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What a buffoon.
But what was interesting about it, I was so nervous before that date because, like you said, the gravity is a little higher when you don't go on dates often. And the moment I got there, I felt good. Like, so it's like the anticipation leading up is what gets me.
Yeah.
I've been doing really good about this one. This one I really haven't been nervous, but I haven't been thinking about it intentionally. So I just hope I feel that, like the level of calm and actual, like you're present.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm worried about is that I won't be present and be myself.
Yeah.
But hopefully that happens.
Yeah.
But that's my last date. Yeah. We went to some barbecue and it just wasn't it.
But didn't he ask you on a date and then you turned it into like group trivia or something?
We went to dinner together and then we went to trivia after
I see.
with some friends.
So was he staring at the TV at dinner?
Yes.
Oh my Lanta.
Behind me, watching football highlights.
What a jerk.
I was like, hello? I'm right here. Is there something behind me that's just more entertaining than this? Obviously, yes.
Oh, heavens.
It's
That's
okay.
no good.
No, it's okay. Okay, do you have any date stories? Funny date stories?
I don't know if they're embarrassing date stories, but I do have a lot of bad date stories. Like, I never went on dates until I moved to Nashville because everyone that I had dated previous, like, I knew already. So it wasn't like I was going on dates with people I'd never met. So I got on dating apps and stuff when I moved here. And boy, oh boy, there were so many bad ones. But like so the first date I ever went on, it went really well. We went on a second date. And then we get to this restaurant and he like knows the waitress. And I think I told you this story before, but he knew the waitress and she clearly did not like him very much. And I was like, oh no. Like once she walked away, I'm like, oh, how do you guys know each other? And come to find out, she is his ex-girlfriend's best friend. And they dated for a long time, like years. And so it was his ex-girlfriend's best friend. And then the story that he decides to tell me about her is a story where they all went skinny dipping together in a pool. And I'm like, of all the stories that you have with your ex's best friend, you have to tell me the one where you've seen her naked.
Why?
Like,
Why?
You've
What's going through
seen
the
our
head?
waitress naked. Like, why are you telling me that?
Why would you offer that up?
No.
No.
Like, yeah. Like, you could just stop at, like, that's my ex's best friend.
Yeah, that's it.
And, like, at one point, he got up to, like, go talk to her, like,
Oh.
on the date. And then he came back. So then it turns into, like, we start talking about his ex because I'm like, I didn't know what to say. So I think that maybe I asked, like, oh, did you guys date for a long time? And then he starts telling me all about his ex. He shows me pictures of his ex. Like, yeah.
He shows you photos.
Yeah. It was very, very
That's
strange.
Sir,
yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah. And then we, like, hadn't kissed yet. And then at the end of the date, he, like, tried to, like, make out. Like, he went in for a kiss, and I give him a kiss. So I'm like, whatever. Even though in my mind, I'm like, I'm never seeing you again, buddy. Like, we're done. But I need to be better. Or, well, not need. I should have been better back then at, like, just being like, no. But I'm such a people pleaser, and I don't want to, like, make. Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
So.
Just take it.
Yeah. Take it like a champ. So I let him kiss me, and then he tried to, like, make out, and we're, like, right next to the valet guys, like, of this place, and it was just horrible. I was like, it's oh my gosh, no, we're not making out. I'm not gonna see you ever again. Please, no. So, yeah, that was my first, like, date experience ever. It was awful. And then I never texted him back, which I should have, but I saw him. I ran into him at a bar one time, and he was like, so you never text me back?
Stop it.
Yeah. It was
what
horrible.
A trip, though, to have such a good first date and then have that happen.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's not like the first date was great, but it was my only date that I've ever been on. So I was like, oh, it was fine. But yeah.
That's
and then
so funny.
There was another time I went to this restaurant with some friends, and the waiter, like, thought that I was cute, but he wasn't even our waiter. He was like a different waiter. And somehow he found me on Instagram. I don't know how, but he found me on Instagram and messaged me. He was like, hey, I work at this restaurant, and I saw you there, and I thought you were cute. He asked me on a date. He looks cute online. I meet him in person, and he's, like, literally shorter than me. And, I already mentioned I like when guys are taller. If you don't mind, more power to you, but I mind. And I was like, oh no. But we start talking, and, like, the banter is really good. Like, we're having fun, but I think I was having fun because in my mind I was already checked out. I was like, there's no pressure on this. Like,
oh, that's what I need to do.
Yeah. But
sorry.
Also not good because
like,
then I'm like,
good tip.
I literally couldn't care less if he liked me or not. But then we had, like, a few cocktails, and then he wanted to, like, start kissing too. He also moved to the same side of the booth as me.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was like, sir, like, literally back up. And
I
then
love
he tried,
that all these men are just trying to mac.
Yeah, and then he tried to make out in the booth, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to make out. Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah. And the the waiter kept coming over, and I would look at him like, help. I should have just left. Like, I don't know why I would always do that to myself. But then I got home, and he started sending me hearts, and then he sent me a, like, it's not is it a GIF? A GIF or whatever?
A GIF.
Of a bear putting out his arms, like a bear hug with hearts. And he said that to me at night, and I was like, absolutely no. You're done. I'm so sorry.
Stop it right now. What is going on with these men?
I know.
See, this is what I don't think I want to have, because I think I would just lose hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but makes
these are good stories.
It makes
tell.
for funny stories, and it also makes you put less pressure on any dates.
True.
Because it's like, you never know what you're going to get. You just got to roll with the punches, and, like, your 3 Ps. Could be for the plot, could be for practice or potential.
Yeah.
All of these were just for the plot.
Yeah.
And
as all the people that wrote in, too. Those are all for the plot. Like, how fun.
Exactly.
I'd be curious what the average amount of dates people go on a month is.
Yeah.
Single people.
I mean, I feel like it probably goes in waves. People are probably pretty aggressive for a little bit, and then they get tired, they need to take a break. And then they go back out there, is my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these are good.
I know. I'm trying to think if I went on any other ones. I don't think. Oh, I just thought of another one. Okay, this guy invited me to go to what's that bar that you always wanted? Oh, Patterson House. It's like a really cute, vibey cocktail bar. Yeah. So he asked me to go to Patterson House, and you need, like, reservations to go there. And we get there. He didn't have a reservation. So they're like, oh, it's going to be like 45 minutes or whatever. So he's like, oh, okay, we'll put our name in. Are you down? I
remember this story.
Yeah. He's like, do you want to go to Red Door? Which Red Door is literally a dive bar in Nashville. Like, it's not nice. Totally opposite vibes, right?
Also full of college kids. It's a dive bar, but full of youth.
Yeah, the youth. Sticky floors and youths.
Yes.
And so we walk down there while we're waiting, and we, like, have a drink or whatever. And then I don't know if the Patterson House ever texted him. I don't know what the deal was. But then he's like, oh, do you want to go to Dogwood? I think is what it's called, which is another bar across the street. But that bar is also a lot of young people, very club scene. It's like they have a DJ, it's dancing. My worst nightmare is dancing with a man. No, Absolutely not. Homecoming in high school, literally my worst nightmare. I walked in, I didn't know what grinding was. I walked in, people are bumping and grinding. I'm like, I need to go. What happened to High School Musical? Like, I'm so sorry. This is not for me. So I don't like dancing.
To do a choreographed dance. Everyone at the same time.
I know. I'm like, every time I watch Bridgerton, I'm like, why can't we dance like that?
Oh my gosh, so true.
But I get in there and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then he invites his friend to come meet up with us on our date. So we're at this club place, me, him, and then his friend comes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go. And he keeps making comments about going and dancing. And I kept saying no. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh no. And he's like, come on, don't be a party pooper. Have some fun.
Stop it.
Like
what
that
girl
sort
wants
of
to
thing.
go dance on a first date?
Yeah. So he like pulled me out to the dance floor. And then I literally just dipped and went to the bathroom. Because I'm like, I'm not going to dance with you. And I texted my friend. I was like, I need to leave. So I come out and I basically told him I need to leave. That was the only time I like had boundaries.
Good for you.
Because I was like, no.
Also, what is that? What is the friend going to do? Watch? Like, that's so weird.
I know. It was so strange.
And Dogwood is weird because it's like, it's a bar. It's in the middle of like a college area.
Yeah.
And it's not like a nightclub. It's like a bar and then upstairs there's just a floor and they just play. There's just a DJ.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a touristy kind of area too.
Yeah.
I remember when I went and I saw people grinding while I'm sitting in a booth right there. Like, I'm like, oh, this is turning into a club, even though it's like not a club vibe.
Yeah.
It's very random.
It's so strange.
Oh.
But it's like one of the only
date?
places like downtown where you dance like that. Most places are more like honky tonk kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it gets crowded, because the people who want to dance like that, they don't have many places to go.
It'd
like
be a fun like girls' night, I think, like just to get on the dance floor and dance with girls. But
Yeah.
like do not take a girl there on your first date.
When you're supposed to go to a nice, classy cocktail bar.
Sipping an espresso martini.
Yeah.
And then ask a friend to come.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah. So then I told him I had to go, and he's like, oh, I can walk you to your car. And I was like, it's okay. And he's like, no, I'll walk you. And I'm like, great. He's going to try and kiss me. And then literally, I was so standoffish that once he got to the car, he said, I'm never going to see you again, am I? And I was like, probably not.
Wow.
Because I'm like,
what a parting
the
comment.
audacity to ask me on a date and try and just like do that.
Also,
no.
read the room. Like, he couldn't have said, do you want to go dancing? And if you said no, like, then that's it.
And he made it very clear that going out dancing was one of his favorite things to do. And I'm like, we're not a good match. Like, we're not going to work.
That's it. That's not going to be my first question tonight. Do you like to go out and dance?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does your Saturday evening look like?
Yeah. That's a good judge of character. What do you do on a Saturday?
Yeah. Literally. It's a great question.
But yeah, I feel like I could go on, but I have a lot of poor dating stories from Nashville. So the Nashville dating scene is an interesting place.
Yeah.
But you're going to do great.
There's good people everywhere, right?
There is.
There's great people everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right, you want to get into these stories?
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. I'll start with the first one.
I'm so excited.
I know. Okay.
I'm like also kind of nervous. Like it's
nervous
like
for
secondhand
them.
embarrassment.
Yeah. Okay. Match with this guy on Hinge and we agreed to go on a date. Classic. It started with Hinge. It's already no good. I was
Maddie.
I was very excited because he was cute and we were having good combos. He showed up and I could tell he was wasted. Yeah, I know. He decided
I wonder if he was nervous.
Carly's going to show up wasted. You're empathizing with him because you're going to have a bottle of wine before you go.
The line for how drunk you are when you show up. I'm kidding.
Hey, there's no shame in taking a shot or having a
take the
drink
edge
or two.
off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The issue is if I'm nervous and I'm tipsy, I'm going to start slurring my words because
Yeah.
that's just what happens with my brain.
Yeah.
It's not like an alcohol thing. It's just a panic thing.
Yeah.
I don't speak well.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
He's going to be writing it. She
English
was
is
wasted.
hard. Yeah. Okay, sorry. keep
Okay.
going.
He decided to go to our city's St. Patrick's Day bar crawl before our date.
Oh, no.
Woof. Why did I go forward with the date? I don't know, but I did. Sister, I feel that.
Hey, it's okay. Maybe she probably also didn't know how drunk he was going to be.
Yeah. We walk into one of the nicer restaurants in town and sit at the bar and order. He got a local cider, takes a sip, and the bro screams, OMG, this tastes like booty juice, in all caps. I was
What?
mortified. Booty juice.
Booty?
Sir. I love how she calls him a bro, too.
Didn't she say a nice place too? They went?
Yeah. One of the nicer restaurants in town. She said, everyone is staring, and I tried to apologize, and he kept going on about the booty juice. Like, what in the ever-loving world? But don't worry, I kept going on with the date. We ended up meeting his friends at a bar, and he's so drunk, he gave me his credit card, so I ended up drinking for free and ordering mozzarella sticks and calling it a night. Needless to say, there was no romance, but hey, at least I got mozzie sticks and free drinks.
Yeah. That's the one good thing that came out of that. How mortifying, though,
yeah,
to be associated with that.
I can't imagine.
And his friends came. What? No.
What is up with the friends on the date? If
No.
friends ever come on a date, that is the biggest red flag. But yeah, I can't imagine.
That is crazy.
I
I'm so
know.
sorry you went through that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be curious how you felt in the moment. Were you like, was your heart racing? Were you embarrassed? Were you looking around? Or did you like conquer the moment? You're like, I'm just going to enjoy this crazy guy. And like,
no,
what
I
the
think she was
heck?
probably embarrassed and just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
But I wonder if they went to a second spot together. Or
they did. Yeah. She said it kept going.
Wow.
That's what I've done. You keep
Yeah.
going. You keep having.
Is it because you don't want to make them feel bad?
Yeah, I think so. But I think if they're drunk, I think I would draw the line because it's like they're not even in the right headspace
Yeah.
to be aware of you like leaving, I guess.
I just literally think about my dog. I'm like, all I want to do is get home and just spoon my dog and just
Yeah.
watch a movie
Yeah,
right now. Like,
I
that's all I'm
know.
looking forward to.
The better things you could be doing with your time. Yeah.
right. Hey, good for the plot.
Yeah.
Good for the plot.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Okay, my first one. I had been crushing on this guy forever, and we finally decided to go to a country concert together. I wake up with the worst migraine, but nothing was going to stop me from going on this date with this man. We grab food, and his friend and his girlfriend show up. Side note, I didn't know they were coming. What's with these people? You're right. Okay. Everything goes fine, but then we get to the tailgate. All these girls were coming up to him, and he starts to act like I don't even exist. Thankfully, I sat down and talked to his friend's girlfriend because we're still friends to this day. Finally, it's time to go into the concert, and he starts paying attention to me again, and that's when I feel it. The nausea from my migraine had hit. He suggested we go back to the car so I can rest for a moment, and we could still hear the concert from there. So we start the long walk back, and I'm trying to keep from throwing up. As we're walking, I hiccup, and as I cover my mouth, it shoots through.
No.
It shoots through my fingers. The imagery. The imagery. I run to the fence along the back of the venue and continue to get sick, and when I turn around, he's grabbing me napkins to help. He was an EMT, so he handled this part very well, but I was mortified. We walk back to the car and sit inside the car together, but I feel it come on again, so I lean out the door and get sick again. He was like, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to stand outside. I texted my BFF, and she came to get me and drive my car home, and he went back into the concert. Needless to say, there was not a second date.
Oh, wait. I thought that was going to have a happy ending.
Yeah, that would be sweet. EMT to save the day.
Okay, that was very sweet of him to take care of you, but I think he should have taken you home. I mean, and maybe if he knew that it wasn't the vibe, he's like, I don't want to miss this concert. Like, we're never going to go on a date again.
Yeah.
Then I guess I get it. But if he was interested, I feel like he should have taken her home.
Yeah.
That is so embarrassing. Can you imagine throwing up? And not even from like drinking, just from... That's so embarrassing.
I have a theme of stories of people getting sick and never hearing from the guy again. And it's like, does natural bodily functions deter people if you have a connection? Like, this is a new fear that's now instilled in my brain. Is like,
Well,
heck, if I ever get sick and we're vibing, is it over?
well, yeah, that was a big fear of mine because I have IBS and I would literally be so scared I would get diarrhea on a date. Because there are times, sorry, you guys are really getting to know me. There are times where I feel it and I have like minutes to get to the bathroom.
Wow.
And it's like you go to the bathroom not just once, you have to go a couple times.
Wow.
So it's like, imagine, I was so scared of that happening.
Yeah.
It never did, thankfully. But like, you know, going on dates outside, hiking, that's a big risk.
Hiking.
That is a big, big risk.
Maybe we wait till like date 14 to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But I mean, I feel like there's probably so many stories of that happening to people, you know? Because when you get, even if you don't have stomach issues, when you get nervous, sometimes
Yes.
you have to go to the
The
bathroom.
nervous.
Yeah, the nervous poops.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, literally new fear unlocked for sure.
That story just reminded me of one more bad date that I went on.
Okay.
So this guy took me to a dive bar down the street, should have known, you know, whatever. Immediately, within seconds of me getting there, we sit outside, he pulls out his vape. And like, if you vape, no hate, but like, I just cannot be with someone who smokes. Like, I just can't. And so I was like, immediately no. Like, I'm sorry, just it's not gonna work. But I didn't say that. I went on with the date, and we're at this dive bar. His friends come, a group of friends.
What
Yeah,
in the heck?
a group of friends, and I actually like hit it off with one of the girls. I really liked her, so I was
I
like,
thought you were
okay,
gonna
I'll.
say one of the guys.
I know.
That'd be hilarious.
I was like, I'll keep hanging, but like it just turned into this whole night. But everyone's playing pool for a while, and he like left for a little bit, and I was like, where the heck did he go? You know where he went? He went to go smoke homemade weed out of a van with a guy that he met at the bar. Yeah. He just was gone, and then he came back and
Took a
told me.
little
I was
field
like, "Where'd you
trip.
go?" And he's like, "Oh, I met this guy who like makes his own weed, and we went and smoked it in his car." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "You want to go get some?" I'm like, "No." Yeah, it was like this whole
No, thank
thing.
you.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
What a wow.
I know.
The stories.
I know.
See, this is why I think I'd rather stay on my couch.
But it's for the plot though, you know, during my dating time, all of my TikToks were like about dates. Like I remember that was my first one ever. I posted like getting ready for that date and I posted it before and during the day I went to the bathroom and I like checked my TikTok and it had like blown up.
Oh my gosh.
And then so when I went home, I like gave a recap of the date because it was crazy. Yeah. And that's what you can do for us. You can just give us your date stories. It's so fun.
Okay. What a story.
Yeah. All right. Okay, here's my next one. Here's a short one. I went on a date with this guy and I wasn't really into him looks-wise, but we clicked personality-wise. We had a good time. Side note, I told him before we went on the date, I don't kiss on first dates. So as he was dropping me off after our date, I was getting out of the car and I went to tell him, well, text me. And instead of text, I yelled, well, kiss me. So he got out of the car.
Because it was on her mind?
I guess, maybe. She said he got out of the car and I was like, I meant to text. I meant to say text. I'm so sorry. And I was so embarrassed. I feel like at that point, you just got to go with it.
Run away.
You just got to kiss him. You got to take one for the team.
Backpedaling verbally.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Did he kiss her?
No, she said, I meant to say text.
Oh.
And so he had to get back in the car.
Oh my gosh. That poor guy.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
See, when you're panicked, English is really hard. Like, English is so hard.
It is.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I know.
I'm scared of English slipping.
What would you do? And that's it. Would you just kiss him?
At first, I would sweat a lot. No, I wouldn't. Unless it was, like, really the vibe. No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. You would say text.
I wouldn't just be like, all right, get over
that's what I would do.
Because I slipped. You're so
that's
nice.
On me.
That's on me. All right, come here for a smooch. That's funny. All right, next one. Oh, this one's good. This one's good. I had a thing for one of my brother's friends since I was about 14. Around age 19 and he was 22, we started talking and I was so excited. Also, like, what a build up. You know, when you have like a crush when you're a kid and just younger and then you're finally like, oh my gosh, we could actually be something. Okay, sorry. And I was so excited. We had a great first date and then he had to go out of town for work. When he came back into town, I met him at his hotel to swim and hang out for a bit. I preface this by saying I rarely drank beer because I hate it. But I decided to have a couple this night. I ended up having a few too many, though. So I ended up staying there for the night. Sometime in the middle of the night, I farted so loud and forceful that we both jumped and woke up.
No!
Can you imagine the startle for you both to jump, lift up off the bed, and land back down?
I love that she said so loud and forceful. Like, not just loud,
violent.
Forceful.
Yeah, violent. It was forced out. I guess I was still pretty tipsy because I didn't realize what happened until I had the beer shits the whole next day and realized that it wasn't a dream. I never heard from him again, and also I've never drank again in 10 years.
She never heard from him again, and he was her brother's best friend?
Yeah.
That's bad. Oh my gosh, what a jerk.
Yeah, that's not nice.
That's so mean.
Also, he'd be lying if he doesn't do that alone, so.
Yeah.
Bye.
I mean, I wonder if that's the reason why.
That's the thing, though, is like these women bodily functions are affecting men.
Yeah.
And they're just silly because they do it all the time, just not around people.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah. You'd think that guys would think it's funny if a girl did that, you know?
Yeah.
If they think it's gross, then they're gross.
Yeah. You're gross. You're an ick.
Yeah. You think me farting is gross? Icky. And that's on
so
you.
Funny. That's good.
Okay, this next one is kind of crazy. Okay. A couple years ago, I had a coworker who asked me if I wanted to go on a date with her childhood best friend. He'd seen me while I was at work and he told her about me. At first, I kept insisting no as I was trying to get over my breakup at the time. She then showed me a picture of him and I accepted because he was cute. It had been 1 year since my breakup and he wasn't bad looking at all. On the contrary, he looked very handsome. Date day comes and last minute he messages me saying that his car broke down and asked if I could drive. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of a date with you. We have to tell that story. I should have noticed the red flag already, but I picked him up, and when I got to his house, he came out and my jaw dropped. He was probably no more than 5 feet. I'm 5'5", and so that was already a no for me. Not only that, but he didn't look like he did in the picture. I'm not one to judge, so I still kept going with it. We decided to go mini golfing. We get to the location, and he cuts in line and goes to the counter and asks for a girl, his friend, who works there, and she gives him the golf equipment, and as we start playing, he begins to sigh every time I make it. And at first I would laugh, but around the 5th time, I couldn't take it anymore. I said, "Don't tell me you hate losing to women, do you?" He said, "No, he just doesn't like losing in general." I said, "Okay, maybe let's not play instead and call it early because this was super childish," but he insisted to stay. How awkward. He just sighs every time, like, you golf well. It's so awkward.
Oh my gosh. The man is serious. He's trying to win. Holy crap.
So we go to the counter to turn in the equipment to his friend. His friend then saw me and says, "Oh, nice to meet you. Wow, he said that he had a lot of sisters, but I never knew how many he had."
What?
Yeah. I was so shocked I couldn't speak. I just laughed. Then we sat by the arcade, and as I was about to tell him what his friend said, he says, "Let's head out," and he asked to go to dinner, and I declined because I was already over it at that point. Wow, good for you, sister.
She drew the line.
He kept talking about how he was a singer and an actor working with a known agency who was working on a Netflix series. I didn't show much interest because I really didn't care, and it sounded more like bragging to me. On the way to drop him off, he attempted to kiss me, and I backed away. He was so mad that he said, "You're the first girl to ever decline. Stop playing so hard to get, and let's do the damn thing."
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Sir.
Absolutely not.
I know.
You can sit down.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I laughed and said, "Get out." Yeah, you did. I attempted to drive forward so he could.
I love her.
I know, a queen. Going. She said, "I attempted to drive forward so he could get out, but he jumped back in the car and started saying that I would regret it and that he'd been on 12 dates in the past week and I was by far the worst one." Then I called him out on what his sister, the golf worker, said, and his jaw dropped. He told me to never go back to that place again. After threatening to call the police since he wouldn't leave my car, he finally left. I drove back to the golf location and spoke to his friend.
Oh my gosh, this girl's a freaking killer.
I told her what happened and she started breaking down crying, saying that they were together for 5 years, but he would tell her that since he was going to be on the Netflix show, he couldn't publicly date, and he had a lot of sisters who lived in Hawaii that would come and visit.
Sorry.
Yeah, and he sold his car and spent all of his money to sign with this agency. I broke it to the poor girl and told her that, in fact, he was a liar and I was very much not his sister or related to him. I then texted my coworker what happened and she had no idea and was so embarrassed. About a year later, he did, in fact, come out in a Netflix series, so I guess he didn't lie about that one thing.
What is it? Who is it?
I know. Drop names,
No,
girl.
what? Literally who?
I know. Years later, come to find out, my sister moved in the house right next door to him. I pray every time I go over there that I don't see him.
What a freaking crazy man.
Isn't that wild?
Wait, that is just so... No.
Literally everything about that story. The fact that he's 5 feet tall. He doesn't look like his pictures.
Yeah.
He goes to the mini golf every week with his quote unquote sisters.
And asks for his ex.
Yeah.
Which, that's so wrong.
To give him free golf equipment. This poor girl. How did she not know?
Girl.
They've been dating for 5 years.
He's got confidence of a 6'2" man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wild.
And why is he being so forceful in the car? Get out.
I know.
Good for her for standing up for herself. I love this woman.
I can't believe that.
Good for her.
No one else did that to him.
Also, what were the ages? I want to know how old they were at this time. Like, is he 20? Is he 30?
Yeah.
And he needs to not. That's it.
I want to know so badly what the Netflix show was. If you guys wrote this in, please DM us what the Netflix show was, and we'll post it on our Instagram because this man needs to be exposed.
And when you see people on TV, for some reason, maybe this is just me, you assume they have they're like a good person. I don't know why, but you're just like, oh, I bet they'd be fun to be friends with. And really, they're nutcases.
Yeah, it's wild.
I wonder if it's like the ego behind it.
I'm sure.
Like, do you know who I am?
Yeah. But he wasn't even on the show yet at this
Yeah.
point.
Man, imagine if that show never aired.
I know.
That would take a real blow to his confidence and ego.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be put in his place, though, and I feel like she might have done it a little bit.
I think so. Okay.
Oh, I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Okay, we need to talk about your date that I thought of with the car situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. This guy. We were set up by a friend, and we went back and forth for months of just trying to set up a good time to meet and go on a date. And I had met him before at church, and I was just trying to talk to him and like get to know him. Like, what's your name? We were standing next to each other in this big circle of people.
Yeah.
I wasn't flirting or interested in him at all. And he just was so uninterested in anything I had to say. And I'm like, okay, you're just not, whatever. It's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then my friend tried to set me up with him, and I'm like, I know who this guy is. And so one of the dates I ended up canceling the morning of or the night before because I was starting a new job that day. And I was like, I'm actually really overwhelmed and stressed. Can we move it to later this week? And he was like, as long as you don't find a husband in that time, sure. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, he said like a lot of cute stuff to you like that.
Yeah, he did. And I was like, surely I won't find anybody in that time. And so then we made a date for, I don't even know, a month or two later or something like that. And I was like, hey, are we still on? And he was like, well, what's your plan? And I was like, well, I'm leaving work right now and I'm planning to get ready for our date. That's my plan.
That is so unattractive. I literally hate that so much because if a guy's going to ask a girl on the date, you plan the date. Yeah. You don't say at the last, well, it was like 6:00, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was whenever I was driving home.
Yeah, and you guys were supposed to be going to dinner.
Yeah.
So it was like in the evening.
I was like, I'm going home to get ready if we're still on.
Yeah.
But I didn't know of where we were going yet.
He hadn't said like, oh, we're going to do dinner, we're going to do drinks. He didn't say any of that, right?
No, but we had just like confirmed that was the evening we were going to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, as long as we're still on, like, this is my plan. And he was like, well, I got into a car accident and my legs still work. I don't remember how it went. It was something like that. Yeah, he said
something like, my legs still work.
But I really want to make sure I treat you well. So if you're down to pick me up, I can make sure I show you around well or something. And I was like, in what world am I picking you up?
Yeah.
And like, also Uber exists.
Yeah.
But he was saying, he also made a comment like his legs still work. So I thought that was him saying he was going to walk somewhere. And I was like, well, I have no problem. Like, if there's somewhere within walking distance for you, I can meet you there.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the conversation.
No.
It was like, for some reason, some assumption that I was picking him up. It was just the weirdest thing. It was the funniest text exchange.
Yeah. And also he took like 2 hours to respond to you.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
like at like 8:00 at night or something that he said
so
that. And it's like,
Sir.
obviously the date's not happening now.
Yeah.
And like, good thing you're okay with this car accident. I don't even believe that he was really in a car accident. But it's just so strange. Just ask to meet you there. Like, don't ask for you to pick him up.
Yeah, because then he was like, I think I said something like, okay, well, I assume it's not on. Like, I did say, like, I hope you're okay. Do you need anything?
Yeah.
And he was like, you just deserve to have a really good time or something. I'm like, you can't, like, sugarcoat the failure to communicate and whatnot. So, yeah, it was weird. It was very strange.
Yeah, he was, like, trying to make you feel bad. That, like,
it was weird.
Yeah, and then he invited you.
Oh my gosh.
This man has the audacity. Like, he doesn't like plan anything else after that. He's not like, oh, tonight doesn't work, but tomorrow. He didn't do any of that. No. What was it, like a week or two later?
It was the next Friday.
He sent you a graphic?
Yeah.
Like a Canva graphic invite?
Yeah, to his real estate networking event. And he said, I would like for this to be our first date. And he was leading the networking event.
Yeah.
And he said, there's a hot tub.
Yeah, on the invite.
Bring your friends.
Bring your friends and bring a bathing suit. There's a hot tub.
Honestly, it kind of would have been fun for the plot. But, like, it's not happening.
No.
What?
The audacity.
It's not happening.
I remember I was trying to push for this guy, too, because I just wanted you to get out there and just go on a date, even if it wasn't going to be anything.
Yeah.
Like, just for fun. And so I was like, give him a chance, whatever. And then when the car thing happened, I was like, no. And then when the Canva invite was sent, I was like, he's done.
Yeah.
He is done. Don't even, you responded. I was like, don't even respond.
What I should have said, I think it was Brittany that gave me this advice. She should have said, I think you sent this to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that would have been such a funny response.
That
Instead, I was like, haha, no, thank you so much.
So nice. I feel like we need to be mean to these men. They need to, well, not mean, but they need to be
more
put in their
sassy.
place a little bit. Like, they need to be called out for being buffoons.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that was funny.
yeah,
I never heard from him again after that.
Well, darn.
Shucks. Missed out. All right. My next one. I was on a first date with a guy and we were walking on this bridge that was all glass / see-through.
Uh-oh. No, was she wearing a dress?
We get to This is reminding me of Becky. We get to the end, which had stairs that were also see-through that I did not see. I missed the first stair and tumbled down multiple stairs. I'm talking an aggressive barrel roll down them, not a cute little misstep.
Oh my God.
I finally stop rolling and the guy's freaking out, trying to help me up while I'm sprawled there cracking up. I was completely fine, a little embarrassed from all the people staring at me, but I honestly thought it was a hilarious story to tell. The guy was a really good sport about it and felt so bad that I fell. We went out a few more times after that, but it didn't work out in the end. However, to this day, it's one of my more memorable dates.
Oh my gosh. At least she laughed about it. Like, imagine if she was like hurt or sad or embarrassed.
She just starts weeping on the floor.
There's nothing worse than like when something embarrassing happens and they don't laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you have to laugh it off.
But I think the instinct is to cry, especially if you're in pain.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. If you're in pain, then like if she broke her arm, then that's different.
Sure,
but
sure. But I'm thinking like just from the embarrassment mixed with like the horrifying experience of tumbling down multiple stairs in a barrel roll fashion.
Yeah.
That's just like traumatizing.
Yeah.
And I think you would want to laugh, but I think the instinct is to cry.
Yeah.
But good for her for just laughing because it is funny, but it's humiliating.
It is.
And all the people were staring. And I guess she was the only one laughing, which is good on you.
Yeah. I feel like if you cry though, you'll be more embarrassed.
I want to know what this looks like.
Yeah. Where is this?
I want to see these stairs that are
oh my gosh.
see-through.
I hope she wasn't wearing
what
a dress.
Champ. This girl she just has some tenacity. I love her.
Yeah, she's resilient.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, you'll like this one.
Okay.
So mine happened years ago, but it was a first date and we were going out for sushi. The sushi pieces were extra big for whatever reason, and I knew it was going to be a problem.
How dare you?
But
How dare you, Maddie?
You can never go. Well, no, because eating on a first date.
Oh, I was thinking a big piece of sushi into my mouth.
No, Carly has a very big mouth, so this wouldn't be a problem.
That's
for
what
her.
I thought you were saying. Fit the whole piece in.
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
I put a piece in my mouth and it didn't fit. So I started chewing the half that was in my mouth so I could make room for the rest. I soon realized I soon start realizing that there's just no way I can get the other half into my mouth without breaking it off and eating it separately. So I'm trying desperately to bite through enough so where the sushi breaks in half, but there's some seaweed that's hanging on for dear life. That's connected.
Wait, so is half in her mouth and half out right now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She was trying to chew the half that was in her mouth to break it off.
But the other is just hanging out?
Yeah, she said,
heck.
but there's some seaweed that's hanging on for dear life that's connecting the half in my mouth to the half outside my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
So I start shaking.
I start what?
I start shaking my head back and forth to try and
like
see
a dog.
if that will break it loose. And unfortunately, that didn't do the trick. I ended up having to let the entire piece go. Yes, that includes the half that I'd been chewing on for the last 2 minutes fall back onto my plate. She just
baby
aborted
bird.
mission.
Baby bird
Yeah.
abort mission.
I look up and my date is absolutely mortified. I could have died right there and then, but by the grace of God, this didn't deter us from having a great rest of the date and going on quite a few more.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, shoot.
Could you imagine?
No, it's like a dog. It's like,
yeah.
that's so unfortunate. See, fear unlocked.
Well, you can never go to sushi on a first date. I
Why?
feel like that's a well-known
Sushi's
thing.
classy.
Sushi's good, but you never know. You never know how
where
big
the
they're going to
seaweed's
be.
gonna
Yeah, like it's so
pop
embarrassing to eat because you just stuff your face with the whole sushi and then you have to chew the whole thing. It's like not a very like dainty,
Chopsticks are
cute. Yeah, you got to use
slipping out of your
chopsticks.
fingers.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
That is so funny. I would never think not to go to sushi on a first date. That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm scarred now.
Sushi and
That's
acai
hilarious.
bowls. Because I feel like acai bowls also, you get the seeds in your teeth.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cold.
Yeah.
You get the cold sweats.
You start sweating.
That poor woman.
Isn't that
That had to
so
have felt
funny?
like an eternity of it just hanging out of her mouth and trying to be creative with how to get.
Just imagine the moment where you realize it's not going to happen. Like,
Just take me now.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I would do. I'm
you
like,
have-
I'm done.
yeah.
I'm done. This is where I retire.
You have to make the call.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I
like,
tap out. It's done. Make the call.
do I spit it out or,
Oh.
yeah.
Or choke. And we do the Heimlich.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
It's not so
Man,
funny.
thank you for sharing that. That was yeah,
That was
good. That was good. All right. The year was 2021. I was talking to this guy pretty regularly, and due to COVID, we were having FaceTime dates. Eventually, we started meeting up in real life, but it was hard to go out on normal dates since most places were still shut down. It was our 6th date when we decided to make Rice Krispie treats at his house and hang. Cute, right? We ate said treats and then started playing a card game when suddenly I started feeling a strong stomach pain.
Oh no.
I
My
asked-
worst nightmare.
Maddie feels targeted. I asked for some Pepto/Tums to settle my stomach. Unfortunately, it doesn't help. He gets me water and is super attentive towards me. At one point, we moved to the couch to watch TV to try and distract me from my violent stomach ache. The pain just keeps getting worse and was truly taking my breath away. Soon after, I start to have the mouth sweats. Which
The mouth sweats.
I've never heard of the mouth sweats before.
Yeah, what is that?
Is it when it starts like just getting a little tingly and wet?
Oh, maybe like, before you throw up, how you kind of like your mouth gets like a little bit more spit.
There are stages before throw up.
Yeah.
No.
You never notice that? Like right
Mouth
before you throw
sweats.
up, your mouth like it feels weird. There's kind of like more saliva.
No.
Oh.
Maybe one
that's
day.
what it is. If she
Okay.
throws up.
Okay. Where were we? Okay. Soon after I start to have the mouth sweats, I realize I'm about to spew. Not spew.
Yeah.
What a word. I get up from the couch and make a mad dash to the bathroom, but I couldn't hold it back anymore.
No.
As I start to run to the bathroom, I puked in my mouth. Before I can close the door behind me, I completely vom-bombed his entire bathroom. It went everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
These poor girls.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Somehow I managed to clean up the mess before I emerged from the bathroom and told him I have to leave. He was very kind about everything. However, it was a pretty mortifying date. Side note, it was food poisoning, but not from the Rice Krispies. Another side note, that was the last time I saw him.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry we're having stomach issues. This sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks for us.
Could you imagine?
We're already nervous.
In his house. It's not like you're at a restaurant where you can just like throw up in the bathroom and then leave. You had to clean it up.
You had
Oh
to
my
clean it up.
gosh. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
That is so embarrassing.
I would like to think that it builds character.
Yeah.
It's for the plot, but it
Yeah.
also, let's just say, it's leading us where we need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's
I
just
know.
so horrible.
I know.
That did make me think, this is not related to throw, but that did remind me of one more. Should I share one
gosh,
more?
yes,
This
give
one
it
is
to
with
me.
Pickleball Boy.
Give it to me.
It was our 5th date, and he came over to my house, and we were going to make pizzas. I think I've told you this before.
Okay.
So I have 2 ovens in my house. I have the upper and the lower.
Okay, Rich.
Not to brag, but I am
But
a
I have
baller.
6 ovens. But I am a baller.
I run a bakery. No, but we're making pizzas, and like sometimes the top rack and the bottom rack of my top oven like don't cook evenly. So I was like, I'm gonna cook one in each oven so that like they cook evenly.
Mhm.
And I forgot that I'd put stuff in my bottom oven, and I heated the oven. And
What did you put there?
I put a muffin tin with like a plastic cap over it
Oh,
in there, like
no.
just to keep it in there, because I never
Like
use my
storage.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I never use my bottom oven. So I'm heating the ovens, and I start smelling this weird smell. And I'm like, what is that? Do you smell that? It's awful. Like, have you ever smelled melted plastic? It's horrible.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
like chemicals.
Yeah.
And
Cancer. It's
yeah,
cancer.
it is cancer. And I was like, what is that? And then I realized it hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, oh my gosh, the muffin tin, it's in there.
Not
And I'm
the
like,
muffin
what do
tin.
I do? I open up the bottom oven, just cloud of smoke comes out, like
Oh,
plastic
no.
smoke. And so I was so embarrassed, but I had to play it off like, oh, this is funny, haha. My fire alarm starts going off.
Fun.
We had to
Fun
open up all the
times.
windows, and we actually took a video that was really funny. I can post it on our Instagram
Oh my
stories.
gosh, yeah, I want to see.
But it's like we had to like open the oven and have the gloves and throw it. We threw it into my yard. My oven's covered in plastic. My house smelled like plastic for literally a week. It was we both had headaches from
Oh,
it.
no.
I know, it was so embarrassing.
What a fun little like bonding moment. Though.
Yeah, it kind of was like
Those
a
are
team bonding
sweet.
experience, and it was like how we handle like under pressure situations.
Yeah.
And he was like very lighthearted and like went with it, and so that made it fun.
Green
Yeah,
flag.
if he was like annoyed at me or something
or
like that, it would have been
frustrated or bossy.
it would have been so awkward. But he was a good sport.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
But it was really embarrassing.
Makes you feel like safe, even
Yeah.
though like that wasn't ideal. It's like okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a good feeling.
it's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, you know those people that make you feel bad. Ugh.
Yeah.
They suck.
They suck. Okay. This is my last one.
Okay.
Catfished. I had been talking to this guy for a few weeks via text, FaceTime, and phone calls. We matched on a dating app, and he was one of those guys that had his height on there. I can't really remember how tall he said he was, but it was over 6 foot. We're getting a lot of these height catfishers. We really hit it off, and I was so excited to finally go on a date with him. He said he wanted to pick me up, but I insisted on driving so I could secretly control the time of the date in case it went south.
Yes,
Smart.
girl.
I go to pick him up and couldn't. But also, why are the girls picking him up? They should just meet there, you know?
Wait.
She insisted on driving.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You should just meet
Separate.
there. Yeah.
Separate.
Okay.
I'm sorry. There's no benefit to driving together.
Yeah.
Like what? There's only risk.
Yeah. It just makes it weirder. Like it's harder for you to leave.
There's no benefit.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Okay, I go to pick him up and couldn't believe when he opened the door. He was at least a foot shorter than me, and I'm 5'6".
A foot shorter? He's miniature.
She says he's miniature.
Wait,
yeah.
4'6"?
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She said he was at least a foot shorter than me, and I'm 5'6". He said he wanted to give me a tour of his house before we went to dinner, which I agreed to. Why?
No,
Why?
No. Honestly, she's probably just in like panic mode, like blackout mode.
Yeah, she's probably shocked.
Yeah.
During the tour, he picks up a guitar and proceeds to serenade me with the worst singing guitar playing I've ever heard. That is my worst nightmare. That is my actual worst nightmare. I would crawl.
Where do you look?
Yeah, where do you look? What do? You just sit there like, oh yeah.
I've had a guy do that for me, and but he sounded really good, and it was honestly really romantic. But I did not know where to look. Because the songs just kept going.
Yeah. And it's like, you're like, oh, yay, thank you.
Oh,
another one. Another one.
I literally was like, yes. We're continuing. Do I sing along?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out if I should clap or not. Yeah. That was my thing.
What do you look at? You just look at him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so, ugh.
This is crazy that this is happening though.
Yeah, okay. He then starts taking shots of Jack Daniels, which I happily declined. We finally make it to dinner, and the conversation is just not vibing like it was on the phone. The bill arrives, and he says, man, I really hope my mom transferred that money to my account. And I started laughing. It took a while to get the check back, and he nervously stated that he didn't think he had enough money in the account.
Oh, he wasn't kidding. Yeah. It wasn't a joke.
No. It did go through. I texted my friend and told her to call me and say she was in a car accident so I could leave and pick her up. Classic.
Yes.
When I went to leave, he grabbed my hand and told me to never leave him.
Oh!
Sir.
What?
I dropped him off as fast as I could and never spoke to him again.
The man's in love. Yeah. Never leave me.
Never leave me, he said.
Oh, he just wants love.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be lying.
I'm not going to lie. This reminded me of one more story.
Holy smokes, Maddie. I love this. This is unlocking memories.
It was just this date of this guy we met on, I think it was Bumble, and he kept like canceling the dates on me. And then finally one day it went through and he was like, I'm just so nervous. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm like really nervous to go on dates. So I don't like whatever. But he was so cute in his pictures, like so cute. And then for some reason, I don't know why I did this. We decided to go to my house like as the first date. Literally, I don't know. It was so stupid. I know. It was not smart. But he came over and he literally like did not have teeth. He had like nubs. Like how people look when they like get veneers. I don't know if it was like from dental hygiene or drugs. Like I don't know what it was. But he literally did not have teeth. And
there's a homeless man in your house.
Well, okay, he literally grew up homeless. That was like his.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm the worst person ever. Oh my god!
I know. Well, yeah, he's okay. So he.
Hold on, I feel terrible. Okay, continue.
He just started talking to me about his life, and he just like way overshared. Literally started sitting on my couch, went from vertical to horizontal, starts laying on my couch, making himself way too comfortable in my house, and starts telling me all about his childhood. And like his mom was a stripper and they were homeless for a while. And like his like brother's still homeless and he lives with his grandparents and like I think his mom is now homeless, but they try and help her, but she doesn't want help. And like all this stuff literally tells me way too much for a first date. Like, so when you ask what's off limits, just don't word vomit. Yeah, don't trauma dump. Oh my gosh, it was so uncomfortable. And I felt bad because he was really nice and he obviously had a very hard life, but he was just telling me way too much. And I was just like, we're never, like, this is not going to work. It just physically was not what I was thinking it. Like, it was so bad.
That
So
is crazy.
so
Did he have
bad.
teeth in his photos?
Yeah. Well, I went and looked back. He wasn't smiling with his teeth in any
Stop
photos.
it.
But I didn't think that he maybe didn't have teeth, you know?
Right. He was just soft smiling.
Yeah.
It gives Atlas from It Ends With Us, where like it could be potential for a really cute moment. Like you invite the homeless guy over and you fall in love.
Yeah. This guy did not look like Atlas.
That didn't happen. Wait, so how did you get the guy out of your house? Like, how'd the date go after he went horizontal?
I forget. I kind of had to be
Was he right here?
Yeah, he was right here.
Wow.
If you're watching on YouTube.
Wow. Right here.
Yeah, I had to kind of be like, okay, yeah, it was nice. You know, I had to like end the date multiple times. I remember he wasn't leaving. Like, he wasn't taking the hit. I think he maybe wanted to stay or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he had heat.
You know what he told me, though? He said the nicest compliment to me.
What did
He said his celebrity crush was Natalie Portman, but I was more beautiful than her.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, sir.
What a man.
No,
No.
he was nice, but it was
He's craving connection.
It was a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that can't be happening in a house alone, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you were safe and all that. But
well, no, I think I had that girl living with me at the time. So she came home during it and went upstairs. So I wasn't like alone. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, so
that is a wild story, Maddie.
Yeah, I remember he texted me after he left and he was like, I really hope I didn't overshare and all this stuff. Like, I hope I didn't scare you with what I said. And I just felt so bad. So I was honest. I was like, you know, I do think it was like a little much. I think you're really nice. I didn't want to like ghost him.
Yeah.
I just told him like it wasn't the vibe. But I don't think I told him it was a little much. I think I told him like, I really appreciate you sharing all that with me. You're a really great person. Like, don't feel bad about sharing that. I just don't think that like we had a spark.
That's nice.
Like something like that.
Yeah, don't make him feel shame for sharing. But
I didn't want to make him feel bad, but it was just like a lot.
That sounds like a lot.
I know. Yeah. I've been on many, many weird dates.
You have some good stories.
I know. See, it's for the plot. It builds character.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the stories I have.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
thank you guys for submitting those. Those were fun.
I know.
I'm so happy to hear them. And it gives me courage and excitement for tonight.
Courage or fear.
And lots of fear
all
for
the things that could go wrong.
Tummy problems.
Just don't order sushi.
Don't order sushi.
If you have tummy problems, you're at a restaurant, so it's okay. It's not like you're at his house.
Yeah.
If you clog the toilet, he'll never know. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to do great. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll give an update.
Jesus. Everyone pray for me.
Yeah.
No, tagline. Wish him luck. Everyone gets the exciting part of the date. They don't have to take on these nerves.
No.
And it'll be fine.
You're going to do great.
It's exciting. I'm excited to meet a new friend.
Yeah.
Is that a bad perspective to have?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
No, just don't friend zone him. Yeah. If that helps you, then that's fine.
Yeah. We'll see.
A new friend.
We'll see.
A new, cute, good-looking friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah.
Wish him luck.
Wish him luck. Well, thanks for listening. If you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe and leave us a rating or review. 5 stars, please. And on YouTube, too, if you guys want to subscribe and watch us. Or follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Tuesday Tea Podcast. And that's where we do all of our submissions for future episodes. So if you want to submit a story or something like that, follow us on there. And make sure to look at our stories because that's where we post all that stuff. Yeah. So if you never want to miss it, you should turn the post notifications on for stories so that you don't miss it. But yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.